Hello rainy day, and welcome to the behind the scenes of my alchemy video. This one's going to be more informal, no challenge, just sort of documenting the steps on how to turn aluminum cans into an aluminum ingot. Here's all the junk that I bought. Cost me $25. It's going to cost me another $25 to drive to my brother's house, where hopefully it's not raining and I can do the challenge. So it's snowing a little bit. I'm thinking about starting the fire inside the igloo, or maybe I'll just dig a hole in the snow. I dug a hole and then my brother lit a fire. Using a hair dryer to speed up the process. Look at this dirty snow. Whenever you see yellow snow, it's from a fire. I never knew that, but learned that today. Today's challenge is to turn soda into silver. Good soda, it's going to turn into good silver. Okay, now I'm going to finish my soda, and then I'll be melting the soda cans. Now I'm done the second video. Alright, the hair dryer definitely kicks up the fire. I've heated up the cup a lot. Now I'm going to toss this thing in here. It's thicker than an aluminum can, so I'm hoping not only will it melt, but it'll create less dross when it does, less oxidation. Let's see how it goes. The thing is smaller. There's a little pile of liquid at the bottom, so it is melting. My can is also deforming, so I think it's time to start adding the soda cans. The cans are melting. You can see like this one, and then there's one here, but you can't see the two that we put in there that have already melted completely. So my brother taught me that you can crush cans with your hands instead of stomping on them in the snow. So that was a nice life tip that I learned. I'm trying to show you some aluminum, but I'm not trying to melt my hand. So it's down there. I'm gonna put like a dozen cans in, I think. So I finished the cans. I think I had 16. And they all melted. And there's a bunch of junk on the top, but I didn't think it was worth skimming because it wasn't that much. So now put in some broken window frames. That's the whole frame. That's part of one frame in there. It's a little bit taller than my cup, but I'm gonna make it work. So all that window frame that was in there was melted. And I was thinking about pouring it, but decided to toss the remainder of the first frame in. Kind of running out of fire though. I accidentally dropped the cup in the snow. The aluminum is no longer a liquid, but we'll bring it back. We got a new setup. The pieces are all melted. Just gonna raise the temp a little bit to make sure it doesn't harden up as I'm pouring. And then we're gravy. This bad boy's hanging in there. It's struggling, but it's hanging in. So what we're gonna do is put a little bit of salt in, which will help separate the soda and the can. And then I'm also gonna put a little pepper in, and that's just for taste, McCormick's. So I'm gonna stir that up and then skim that scum off the top.
Alright, we're going. We're going. I want to pour it out to the right side. Oh my god. Thanks for my ball. Well, it ain't much, but it'll do. Okay, talking to myself.
Reposition this.
Thinking I waited a little bit too long. I wasn't following my brother's instructions, so there's a good chance some of this is still metal. Considering I did skim all of the scum off, there's a good chance all of this is metal. But that's okay. I didn't want to fill the pan anyway. It's kind of a huge pan, so I didn't want too big of a piece. And it looks cool. So that's it. Let's see how it melts through the snow. It looks solid. Let me get my poking stick. It's solid. So I'm now going to toss it onto the snow, and it's going to melt a hole, and it's going to be real cool. Well, it might. If it was bigger, it would have more heat to it. That looks like some good snow. Where'd it go? Well, not as cool as it. Ooh, ooh. Let's see. Grams, it's saying -2. Well, this weighs 22 grams. Let's convert that to ounces. Fluid ounces, it's 0.1 fluid ounce. So I did lose 11 fluid ounces in the conversion, but I think that's pretty reasonable for turning root beer into silver. So the challenge is complete, and that was the one lump I got out of it. There's still some left in the can, as you saw. About that much is left in the can. Still a little hot. I plan on doing this again. We'll get those 11 fluid ounces out. It was a fun experiment. I don't recommend doing it in the snow, although it clears the snow off, so if you want to clear your snow, maybe you should do it in the snow.
So I'm back home now, and one thing that bothered me was the 22 gram number, because an empty can is 32 grams. So now that my scale is on ground instead of snow, 70 grams, that makes more sense. Still a lot lower than it should be, but 2.5 fluid ounces. See, that would have made a better joke for the end of the video. That's a shame. I'm not gonna update the real one, I think. But now you guys know. This is 2 soda cans.
So again, I think half of it hardened before we started pouring, but I got a bigger chunk this time. So an aluminum can is 14 grams. I think every number I said in this video has been wrong. So 14 for that. This one's still 70. The one we just poured, a whopping 125, which is either 4, 3, or 10 cans, depending on which number you use.
We're at the end of the process here. I've unloaded my car now. I do have one window frame left. I successfully melted these 2 pieces. Here's the dross that I removed. I do think it's interesting. The dross that I removed the first day looks different than the second day. There's much more aluminum in the first one. I don't know, just a fun fact. I still have a crucible half filled with aluminum. There could still be dross in here, but I have a feeling it's just aluminum that we didn't heat it up enough to pour. So I think I'm done for now. I do plan on making a propane burner and a furnace to continue doing this, maybe in a little more formal manner. Working with the fire does work, but it requires a little too much maintenance and effort. So I'm going to do it more formal, maybe with some better protective gear as well. That's it for this video though. It was fun. I didn't use the tongs. I guess I can return those, save $1.